Okay, here I have kind of a, I guess, looking up view, kind of a worm's eye view, kind of a rotated thing. There was like the sculpture I was looking up at to kind of capture this rotated sort of image for my color reduction. And we're going to look at filters and kind of what they can do to change things around. Now, in my second video that you'll see, I've already changed this and reduced it and did some stuff with color changes. So let's do that first, actually. I'm going to just go to Hue Saturation, and I'm going to change the hue of this a little bit, kind of play around a little. Ooh, there's our complementary color scheme, right in time for Christmas, right? So I'll just go with that one, even though that's different than my other video. And then we're going to go up to the top, you won't see it, filter. Okay, and there are some options for filters. I need to make sure I'm actually selected on my background image. So I'm going to go up again to filter, and there's a filter gallery, and there's all sorts of different options with your filtering. I'm going to actually zoom out so I can see a little bit more of my image. It's very high in resolution. So I'm at 25%. So I zoomed out so I could see more of my image here. And I'm going to see if I can close this so you can see more of what's happening. All right, there we go. So again, I zoomed out a little bit so I can see more of the image. And there's some different options under artistic, for example. This one is cutout, so that kind of starts to break things down and reduce things. I can change the amount of levels. Obviously, if there's less levels, it'll be more abstract. I could try poster edges, maybe. Maybe make that thickness. You know, play around with the different options, posterization. You know, and you could try these different options under artistic. That could maybe work. Maybe cutout. I think I like cutout the best here. But I can also look into other things like distorts with, like, there's an ocean ripple. So I can apply like different filters to them to see what I might like. And I'm going to go to stylize, maybe glowing edges. That's pretty crazy. So anyhow, it's about kind of going in and seeing what will work for you. I'm going to take out the ocean ripple. I'm going to leave the cutout because I think I like that best. Maybe poster edges. Maybe cutout. I think I like cutout the best, and that's the one that I used in my example. But cutout will reduce it. But go ahead and play with different ones. See what will work for you. I'm going to hit OK. There are some other filter options that could work too. One that you'll see in my next video, I did the filter distort wave. So I played around with kind of messing around this way. I'll give you a little preview of what that might look like. Ooh, whoa! Anyhow, it's really kind of neat, but remember, we're doing kind of a reduction. So if I were to do this, that's a very different than this one. So I would want to do something where I'm maybe not changing it up that much. So I'm going to hit cancel, because maybe I want to save this one first and then go up to filter. You know, we can try some different things. Noise, we can add dust and scratches, and we are reducing it. So I would keep it simple. There are different blurs you can use. Lens blur, motion blurs. Oh, let's go with the motion blur. So I'm going to blur this just a smidge. And maybe, you know, I can reduce it that way too. So I'm going to have my history open and go back to my filter gallery. And I'm going to go and do the one that I actually used under distort and wave. So this wave is pretty crazy. I don't want to make it too crazy. I'm going to kind of bring it back. So this is just kind of playing with it, reducing it a little bit, seeing, oh, I think I like that. I'm going to hit OK. And that has kind of reduced it even more, totally abstracted it, but I can still see, you know, some of the colors and a little bit of what was there before. So that's how to play with filters. If you want to go even further with your filtering, even before you go ahead and add a filter, you can do like a filter convert for smart filters, for example. And then when you do apply a filter, like let's say we'll go back to that filter gallery and we'll do the cutout that I used. I'm just going to hit OK. And then I can go ahead and do different things here where I can show or hide some of those filters. Like maybe I want to reduce it in a way to get rid of some of, you know, some of these different things, you know, have some of that detail in there. So I could use my black brush and maybe bring back some of that detail in some areas. So I can be more picky and choosy with my filtering. Because I'm going to hide some of those poster edges, so maybe not every area has a poster edge. So again, that's being able to do that. You can also work with blend modes too, and you know, make the filter blend a little bit more to the image. Depending on the effect you want to go for. But overall, the idea is we do want to reduce it. So here, this is still very detailed. So I'm going to go in and, you know, kind of reduce it more. I'm going to add that filter again with the filter distort and the wave. And I'm going to go ahead and see now this is only waving some of the area. So maybe I'll like that. So just kind of waving some of the areas that I've already selected because I created the smart layer. So working with smart layers can be a little tricky, but you know, if you're getting effects that are too much for you, you can try that because then it's a little easier to edit it and take it out. So now I can go back in and go to my filter and my distort again and my wave. And now it'll actually wave for me. All right, sweet. Okay, so then it's like I still have some of that detail there. It's not as poster edged as I had before. So I still get some interesting variations in line that I may like to still see while it's still reducing it. So again, see what works for you. Again, that more complicated part of that was using a smart filter and understanding that the white box, of course, means that we have a mask there. That's what the smart filter does, is it creates a mask. So you kind of have to work with the mask, and you can have blend mode. So I know this is a little bit trickier, but hopefully you stayed at least long enough to see what the filters can do.